The Nigerian Governors Forum again making headlines. They were vehemently opposed to raising the minimum wage to 18,000 naira. What are they on about now?
Now the governors, they realize that they can't keep opposing the 18 naira minimum wage bill because their political futures depend on it. Organized labor is very determined to get this money because the promise was made before elections. So the governors are looking for alternatives to increase funding. You know, Nigeria, every governor goes cap in hand at the end of the month to Abuja to get allocation from the government. So to pay this 18,000 naira bill, you have to get more money from Abuja, from the federal government. So initially they started off by saying the government could end deregulation, the petroleum deregulation, could end deregulation and pay them the extra savings so that they could meet up this 18,000 minimum wage. But now they've jumped onto, they saw that that wouldn't work. So now they've jumped onto this new issue, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and they certainly say to themselves, oh, it's not constitutional. The Nigerian Constitution says this, and this act says that. So is there a way we can get some extra money rather than take some of our money and put in this Sovereign Wealth Fund? Give us this money so that we can give this organized labor the 18,000 naira a month. And it's not going to be good at the...
How seriously are authorities treating this lobby, Jimmy? Because the issue of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, it's very important for Nigeria. It's going to create a platform through which oil savings and profits can be channeled for other infrastructure investments. So for many investors who are looking into buying Nigerian securities, the Sovereign Wealth Fund is really a make or break of economic management in the country.
Yeah, it is a make or break deal. Fitch had already raised issues about it, that they didn't see the bill being passed because they thought the political gladiators in Nigeria would be opposed to it. Eventually, the bill was passed. It was passed on the eve of the elections, and you know, for political expediency, it was good to pass it. But now, after the hullabaloo of all the elections is over, it's time to talk. It's time to talk real talk. And the governors have realized that it's going to reduce their income, and they need income to pay the extra wage bills. But for foreign investors, they will be very sad. It would diminish Nigeria's outlook. It would destroy our economic profile. But I see political solutions at the end of the day. There's been talk about expanding the council of the Sovereign Wealth Fund to include more representatives from other governors. There's been talk about treating the Sovereign Wealth Fund savings as delayed income to the government, to the state government. So when the federal government transfers the money to the Sovereign Wealth Fund, it's like a share to the state.
Right.
And eventually the state gets the dividend of the money. So at the end of the day, this is Nigeria. This country isn't short of drama. And I think at the end of the day, there'll be a political solution to it. But it's not just good at the end of the day. The whole drama isn't just good.
All right. On the good news front were recent inflation figures that came in at 9.4% for July. It's definitely beating the target set by the CBN. But does the country manager for the World Bank have an opinion here?
Yeah, he does have an opinion. He says it's good, but we shouldn't go to town to celebrate these figures. He's raised some issues that we should still look at. He said food inflation is core, and food inflation, even with this single target, with this single-digit inflation, was on the increase. He said Nigeria should increase its local food production. He's saying we should stop being net importers. We should be the food basket of the region of West and Central Africa. And so that will be one core issue for this new economic management team. Agriculture, food production, how do we achieve food security so that this inflation figure can be sustainable.
Okay, but you know, in defense of Nigerian authorities, they have acknowledged the limitations of the economy, and we've seen so much being done to try to direct money towards agriculture and manufacturing. For instance, the CBN's even launched a few funds in this regard. What will the work of the economic management team be?
The work of the economic management team, the first time Okonjo-Iweala was around as minister, she did a lot of positives on Nigeria's macroeconomic issues, the debts. Mr. Ganga has come, he has helped us to obtain this Sovereign Wealth Fund infrastructure framework. So now Mrs. Iweala is talking of looking at the microeconomic issues, you know, job creation, unemployment, housing. So these are the core issues right now for the economic management team. And how the federal government goes about this will decide other, you know, the successes by which it will be judged, the power sector issue. And that's why they're trying to expand the team of the National Economic Management Team. They brought in gurus like Aliko Dangote. You know, they brought in Ige Mokwede. These are people who have rich private background expertise, rich private background experience to rub minds with the public sector so that the government can know at a good instance how its policies impact on the private sector rather than reading this on the pages of the press. So they become part of policy making actually, which is good.